Matt Gaetz is in a world of trouble, guys. We talked about it earlier tonight. You can find the link up there. But what we discussed was that he is under a very serious investigation by the Department of Justice, started under Donald Trump, around his relationship with a young woman aged 17 and how that intimate relationship likely is not legal. We talked about this. And he went on Tucker Carlson today, just a little bit ago, to try and give his side of the story. And after the interview, here is what Tucker said.
If you just saw our Matt Gaetz interview, that was one of the weirdest interviews I've ever conducted. That story just appeared in the news a couple of hours ago. And on the certainty that there's always more than you read in the newspaper, we immediately called Matt Gaetz and asked him to come on and tell us more, which, as you saw, he did. I don't think that clarified much, but it certainly showed this is a deeply interesting story, and we'll be.
Now, I can't play you the full interview. One, that would be copyright issues. Two, it's 8-9 minutes long, but the link is up there as well. I have the link for you. You can find it there, or at least it's going to be in the description. The full interview is bonkers, because here's the thing. There's two things to look out for. First, at multiple instances, Matt Gaetz tries to implicate Tucker Carlson. He tries to say, Tucker, you've been accused of awful things, and you know what that feels like. And Tucker Carlson has this weird, awkward look on his face, which is like, I've never been accused of something like this by the Department of Justice, Mr. Gaetz. Like that sort of thing, and tries to move on. And then he also tries to suggest that one of his girlfriends, he and Matt Gaetz, like his girlfriend had dinner with Tucker and Tucker's wife or whatever, and then Tucker Carlson is like, I've never heard of this thing. This has never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Please stop implicating me in your crimes or alleged crimes. And then, he's bringing up all these things, and he's trying to suggest again that this is some sort of political and economic witch hunt against him, that somehow the Department of Justice is rigged against him. There are people inside that body that are basically trying to extort him and his father for millions and millions of dollars. He says $25 million. I don't know if Matt Gaetz' dad is a rich moneybags guy. I don't know. But the point is, he says it has nothing to do with his personal conduct and all about bribery and blackmail and these sorts of things. But the fact of the matter is, we talked about this. There is no evidence that this is politically motivated or economically motivated against Matt Gaetz. And two, that this started under Trump and Barr. And Matt Gaetz is a loyal, deeply loyal Trump Republican. Most of the Republican Party stayed loyal to Trump. As we know, most Republicans voted against impeachment in the House and voted against convicting in the Senate. Most Republicans. But Gaetz was like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and a lot of the diehard Trump Republicans, not only stood by Trump silently like some Republicans did, but stood by him vocally, defended what happened on January 6th, essentially, defended Trump, defended the push to decertify results from some of the swing states like Georgia and Arizona and Pennsylvania, when many Republicans wouldn't do that. So it does not make sense that this would be politically motivated against him if it came from Trump and Barr. That doesn't make sense. The only rational explanation is that this is so real with so much plausible evidence that even Trump and Barr could not bury it to cover one of their sycophants in Matt Gaetz. Tucker Carlson right there, the subtext is, he doesn't believe Matt Gaetz. He gave Matt Gaetz a chance to come on his channel to give his side of the story. Tucker, also being a showman, knew this would be ratings bonanza and knew that Matt Gaetz came off looking awfully there. If there was any way they could defend a fellow Republican conservative, they would. But even Tucker had to admit that Matt Gaetz likely did it, looked worse out of the interview than he came in, and no one's going to bail him out. Matt Gaetz is done for, guys. His goose is cooked.